up, suckers? It's me. I'm back, but I'm not here by myself. Today, as you can see, I am here with just a few of the speakers who are going to be at Chase the Chaos. If you remember, I mentioned this at the beginning of my last video, and if you fast forwarded past it, shame on you. But I will remind you, Chase the Chaos is an amazing digital summit that we are going to be running in September for multi-passionate women. You don't have to be ADHD, but it helps. And we're going to have 12 speakers over 2 days. It's going to be incredible. And I only have a handful of some of the really cool people who are going to be there this September. Hopefully you will be there. I wanted to introduce you, get a chance to give you a chance rather to hear how badass they are so that you don't just have to take my word for it. And with that, instead of rambling, I want you guys to just kind of introduce yourselves, if you will, whoever wants to go first. You guys gonna make me pick somebody? I'll do it.
I can tell Leanne wants to go. I can just feel it.
To say the same about you, and you have the sexy microphone.
I do. All right, fine. I know. If you're going to call someone out, you got to be willing to do it yourself. So, hi, I'll start. Hello, I'm Lisa Zaratny, and I am just proud and honored to be included in the set of badass women. I'm the founder of Positively Productive Systems, the host of the Positively Living podcast, and as Leanne mentioned, have a new sexy microphone for that. Pretty excited. And I'm a productivity and accountability coach for, you probably guessed it, multi-passionate creatives and entrepreneurs to help them do less. We could just stop there, but also live more and breathe easier. And that's what I'm all about. And when I'm not doing this fun stuff, you're going to see me pretending to be a rock star with my family, or maybe reading with a nice coffee while trapped under a cat. Those are a few of my favorite things.
And Lisa's going to be doing an incredible talk about how to do less but not give up what you love, which is huge for all of us. So that's
bingo. And we love so much, so it's precious, and I'm going to help you figure that out.
It's going to be amazing. And let's see, Andy, why don't you go next?
I don't know. I think I'm happy to stop at Ariana says we're cool. So I'm like, that's my intro right there. Ariana says we're cool.
Done. We're done.
My name is Andy Blackwell. I am a certified trauma-informed coach, and I work a lot with entrepreneurs because we have this crazy idea in life in general that we have a work life and a personal life, but we don't. We have one life, and so everything gets kind of enmeshed, and your ideas and your thoughts, they all kind of come together in this wonderful spinning cyclone of all of the things that you love to do and want to do. And so I work with people to move forward in what they'd like to do in their lives while maintaining regulation, and also kind of building a wall against everything that society tells them that they should do so that they can follow their own inner voice.
Which tracks real well because Andy's actually going to be talking about why niching is bullshit. We actually have quite a few talks about why certain things that we are taught is bullshit. Bullshit is a huge topic that we're going to be talking about in September. And we talk about why niching and trying to pick just one thing that you define yourself by is complete bullshit. So I'm really looking forward to that talk because I'm still learning that myself sometimes. So that's going to be amazing.
Well, and part of it is that, especially when you're a woman, when you're a mom, you're told that you have to do everything, but you're also supposed to niche. So no matter what, you're doing it wrong. And it's just, we're not having it anymore.
It feels like there's no winning. Exactly. Leanne, let's go.
Yes. I'm just so happy to be here for one thing. I'm Leanne Joshua, and I am a humor, play, and stress management expert who has been training organizations and disorganizations how to lighten up and let go of bullshit and all of the stressors, especially the ego stressors that we put into our lives, the things that shouldn't be burdens to us, and yet there are so many of them, we just let them pile up. I am also a stand-up comedian, and I run an improv comedy troupe, and I'm really connected to the importance of physical play, and that is something that most adults, especially women, don't do. You might do it when your kids are really young, and then you think that that was something you did for your children, and you don't realize that's something you also need to do for yourself. That's why one of my book cover photographs I did upside down on the monkey bars, because to try to convince myself that you're never too old to get on the monkey bars. And you can be too old to get on the monkey bars if your shoulders are frozen. But there are other ways to play that don't involve physical injury when you try to dismount. But that's what I'm all about, is just trying to get people to laugh and lighten up and to understand that silliness has a purpose, and we have given it short shrift.
We definitely have. It's really funny because you're like, oh, physical play. And I'm sitting here going, my kids jump on me and I'm immediately like, I quit, I'm out. So maybe I really need this talk, because I don't do the physical play as much as I should. But Leanne is going to be doing an incredible conversation. I say everybody's incredible, but they really are. Like this, you guys know I don't do bullshit. See? Bullshit. And Leanne's going to be doing an incredible talk about the importance of using humor to better honor yourself and understand yourself. So it's going to be great for anybody who's kind of like, I want to lighten up. I don't feel like I can lighten up. How do I get back in touch with that? Leanne's going to be great for that. Lauren,
It'll be fun.
go, Lauren. Do it.
Okay, it's happening. I'm Lauren Yee. I am a cultivator of curiosity. It's my favorite thing. I love to ask questions, to get to know what's going on. But what I generally do and bring to the table is playful, personal, and professional development in a less physical play way, but like I believe in adulting like a kid, and like we learn so much as kids and throw that out the window for whatever reason when we become adults. So learning through play, connecting through curiosity, having kindness and empathy as you do things, giving grace to yourself and others. We do not enough of that maybe as adults, or we get practice out of it. And I try to help people remember how to do things, and maybe there are joyful ways to do stuff and still do what you need to do. We did it as kids, we could do it as adults. And that's what I do in many ways, because I cannot be tamed because I want to do too many things.
If only there was a place that you could like talk about this kind of thing. I don't know. It's not gonna be... I love to tell this story. So Lauren sent in her application to do this, and she is going to be talking about how she formed a quote unquote adult school so that she could make time to do all of the things she wanted to do. And I remember I read the topic that she was going to be speaking about, and my husband works in the room with me, and I actually yelled, yes, like really loud. And my husband had an absolute like heart attack and almost shat himself. Like he was just kind of like, what's wrong? What? And I was like, nothing, it's a good thing. So super excited for this one. Especially since it sounds very brain hacky, and ADHD.
Yeah.
Love those brain hacks. We
love tricking kids into learning, right? We got to trick
so we're just gonna
ourselves
trick
sometimes.
Is what we're gonna do. 100%.
Yeah.
We actually have another person joining us. We're gonna go with Nicole, and then we're gonna have Jess, who literally just got here, is also going to have to introduce herself. So she got here 2 seconds before. We're gonna introduce her, but she'll do fine, I promise. So Nicole, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you wonderfully.
Hi, it's good to see everyone again. My name's Nicole Croft. I'm from the Toronto area. I think I'm the only one. And I'm a registered psychotherapist, an entrepreneur, and creative. And what I hope to talk to the group about is just about how to manage your mental health when you are a multi-passionate individual, and how important it is to the journey to understand yourself and understand your anxiety, so you can actually get really clear on where it is and what it is you actually want to be doing.
That's going to be an awesome conversation. Nicola is one of 2 psychotherapists that we have speaking during this event, because I wanted to kind of push the stigma that our minds are somehow broken, right? Or weird. The fact is, it's a different way of thinking. I have said before on my channel, and I maintain this, that I truly do believe that eventually ADHD will no longer be considered a disorder. It will just be considered a way that the brain works. And I can say that all day long, but I majored in English, and I'm, sometimes I seem like I'm full of shit. So I wanted people who actually studied the brain and studied the way that people think to be able to talk on this. And Nicole is one of two people who will be doing that. She, like you heard, has a ton of things that define her, and she does not let just one of those things define her. So she's going to be giving a great talk on that. And Jess, looking amazing as always. Why don't you introduce yourself for me?
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Jess Joswick, she, her. My business is called Backbone Business, and I am a business coach for neurodiverse online entrepreneurs who really want to recenter rest and joy and health in their businesses and how they're operating, and so they can create the impact that they know they want to make. I work with a lot of creatively inclined people, and I really believe that we need a new way of doing business that includes brains like ours. And so what I'm talking about at the summit is how to really release perfection and give yourself a C+ in all that you do. And so we'll be talking about why perfectionism is so bad, why it's so insidious. And we will also talk through how to point out, how to identify where perfectionism, is popping up, and then how to adopt a C+ mindset.
So basically, I'm just going to throw out a question there, and we're just going to kind of go to the races. And since a lot of us are ADHD, God knows where that's going to take us, but I'm along for the ride, and so for you. So are you. So for you. Wow. All right. So my question is this. Everybody in this room, why do you think that it is important that there is a space to give support for women who are multi-passionate?
Because it's not abnormal.
I like that.
Because we spend so much time second guessing ourselves about it and have lived so long saying, oh, what is wrong with me? Am I flaky? Am I spacey? Am I indecisive? Am I all these things? Short answer, quick answer, no. And yeah, because
you gave away
spoiler alert.
No one's gonna come now.
Yeah. What? No, spoiler alert. We could tell you why, but yeah, please, we need to stop this now, and we need to spread the word.
Because there's so much noise out there that prevents us from settling into a restful state where we accept ourselves and empower ourselves. And we have to fight the noise, and you fight noise with support and love from other people who are in the same situation.
Yeah, and I think it's part of our humanity. It makes us interesting, but it also makes you happy to have all of these things, in your life, and to be good at a lot of things. And so celebrating that capability is way more fun and humanizing and full than trying to diminish it.
I think we're also looking at the idea that people who are multi-passionate are fighting against hundreds of years of the concept of industrial specialization, right? Where we have all this time where we went to, you have to do one thing, you do one thing for the rest of your life. Remember, your family used to be named after what you did. And then you go through this track and go on through the industrial age into the modern age, and it's still the same thing. You do one thing, you retire with your watch. And then we go a little bit further and we hit the millennial age, where it's, but wait, I've done 75 things and people are telling me that's a problem, but the world isn't even working the same way it was. Not to mention the fact that all of this hinges on the fact that there's somebody doing all of the things behind the scenes so that one other person can be doing one thing. And so you can be multi-passionate as long as you're invisible. You don't talk about all that you do, and you don't ask for credit in all what you do. It's like the historical, setting for that. So now we have, between all of our connections and communications, we have a lot of opportunity to support and change that. But it can really feel for a lot of people like they're bucking against a brick wall of everybody's perspective and conditioning for what it's supposed to look like.
It's so true. We're fighting against a stigma. So that's part of this conversation. And then we're also, like Jess said, we're celebrating it. If we can change, right? We're pivoting here. We're spinning this conversation into celebrating it. And I will also leave you with this idea. If Da Vinci did it, why can't we?
Yeah.
Like
I-
that.
I don't think he apologized. Did he ever? Oh my, really sorry. I'm going to stop this like military strategy thing I'm doing for a minute because I want to paint this chick I know. Like,
To be fair, he was also a dude.
well, and then this is a good part of the conversation, is it not? So enough with the stigma. Let's own this.
Mhm.
Well,
Love it.
and interestingly enough, I actually have a section in my talk where I'm talking about Leonardo da Vinci in mine. And I know, but I'm a little bit of a history nerd. Well, I'm a little bit of an everything nerd because, multi-passionate.
Multi-passionate.
But something I went to, there was a Leonardo da Vinci retrospective at OMSI that I went to. And when you're sitting in there and they're getting ready to walk you through, it comes up with a quote of his that was essentially, when all is said and done, will I've really done anything? And I thought about that. I was like, wow, Leonardo da Vinci's got some mom vibes going on there, right? Like I've had to do all of the things. So because of that time, we think about the Renaissance as a time where people really got to explore those passions. But at the same time, there were these schools, and it was everybody was copying a master, and so everybody was still trying to be highly specialized. And so with all the things that he did, even he was like, well, I didn't specialize in something, I did a bunch of things. Are people gonna remember me as somebody who's successful or productive? And so my thing on it is like, if Leonardo da Vinci had done it, when I saw that quote and that perspective, I was like, well, if Leonardo da Vinci was rocked by it, it's okay for me to feel like, when I'm coming up against these challenges, like it's normal to feel a little bit like, okay, I'm doing what I want to do, and not everybody's going to vibe with that, and that's okay.
What about you, Lauren? What's your thought?
I feel all of these, like chiming off of everybody's thoughts. I feel like there's so much, like, why is it an important space? Because like, it's not atypical. It's like, it is normal for people to want to do more things or enjoy things. But I do feel like the celebration and support and like passion is a hard one for me, because like, I don't know if I have like deep passion, like visionary passion. I have like a lot of curiosities. It's kind of like how I label it, because passion feels so like big to me sometimes. But I feel like the sort of lane of passion, multi-passionate in this, is important because there's so many things that we need to do or are told that we're supposed to do that we don't, as a society, don't always know what we like or want to do, or it's not like celebrated when you want to do a lot of things. I find myself saying often, like, I do too many things, and I have to correct myself because it doesn't feel like too much for me, but it does to everybody else around me. So like, I just do many things. Like, take away the two. Like, you can do what you want if it works for you. Yes, there are things we have to do that we like have to do, like the need to do things for like surviving family, and you can be excited about your family too. But then what do you actually want to do or are excited to do? Because that should be celebrated, because sometimes people don't even think, I don't even think sometimes people know, like, what are your hobbies or what are you interested in? And if you have many things, like, that's awesome. Don't lose that. Hold on to those things.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Cool. No, I was just gonna say I love what Lauren said, and it just collides so beautifully with some of the mental health conversation, because we're often not only told not to be multi-passionate, but told who we should be and who we can't be, and we can't do that. I'll give you a very quick example. I've always loved board sports and been told forever, you can't do that because you're a girl or whatever, you're a professional or you're a mom or you're aging or whatever. My kids got me for Mother's Day a longboard. You know what I've been doing? I've been longboarding because I'm not going to live in a space where people can't tell me what to do anymore. And this is something that we unlearn in mental health journeys. Like, why did someone tell you that you can't do that or you can't be this? Where did we learn these stories that we shouldn't be able to do not only multiple things, but that we can't have particular interests because they don't align with our gender or with our culture or with our particular expectations. And so I just want to say, Lauren, I so appreciate what you had to say about, being curious and the stories that, we hear, and being told that not only we can't do multiple things, but we shouldn't do specific things. And we learn this via vis-a-vis shame, like being shamed for liking a particular thing. And we really have to unlearn that feeling in order to engage in an activity or an interest freely. So thank you, Lauren.
And there's more where that came from.
That's so awesome.
It honestly makes me think of one of our speakers. She couldn't be here today. Mandy M is a good friend of mine who I actually, and I don't say I look up to very many people, but I look up to Mandy a lot. Mandy is, she's witchy. She's sweary. She's just one of those people who she has a third book coming out in October. She'll probably talk about that in September. She's going to be giving the same speech she gave me once angrily in a voice note when I sent her a message on Instagram once saying, I am frustrated. I'm frustrated because there's this thing that I want to do. I want to chase this shiny object, but I know that I'm not supposed to because I know that it makes me look flaky. It makes me look crazy. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing. And she gave this long, impassioned, voice note basically saying, that shiny object thing is bullshit. It's something that someone came up with to make us feel bad for trying to step out of a line that we are already being categorized by, because people like to be able to categorize and they cannot categorize if you do too many things. And it was like that changed my life. I was like, she wrote me after we decided to do this and she's like, I don't know what to talk about. I was like, just go back and listen to your voice notes and write that down and do that for an hour. But it's interesting because I have, ever since I spoke to her about this, and I've been trying to kind of follow that mindset, I have noticed that even when you work in your own brand, even when you work for yourself, there is an expectation that a lot of people have, if you're not careful, to be able to fit into what your Instagram bio can define you by. If you can put on your Instagram bio, I'm an ADHD coach, you better talk about ADHD. That's it. You cannot talk about anything else, because then you have to worry about losing your audience, right? And it's very hard. It is a hard, very well ingrained attitude that if anybody talks about anything that is outside of that one topic, you're going to have questions. You're not allowed to be a well-rounded human being anymore. And that is something that has been frustrating just me personally. And I know that it can't just be me. I know it's not just me, okay? Just from this group here alone. And so I felt that this needed to be talked about. It needed to be discussed, because we need to start giving people places to go where it is okay if, you dance ballet and you, I don't know, like kickboxing or longboarding, or, you're a mother, but you also, I don't know, what would somebody assume moms don't do? Fight bears on the weekend? I'm not quite sure.
Sing in a rock band.
Sing in a rock band. There you go. I mean, mine, now you guys just made me sound really fucking weird. Everybody's like, we went with rock band, Ariana, but you went with fighting a bear. You guys really could have said, if you had spoken up 2 seconds earlier.
It's a judgment-free zone here, though, is it not? So, I mean, if bear fighting is your thing.
2 seconds earlier, you could have saved me from showing exactly how weird I am in comparison to everyone else on this call. Anyway, all I'm saying, coming back to what we were discussing, I am saying that this is a very important topic. It's an important topic, and it's on the hearts of every single person who is going to be at this event, because we don't believe anybody okay, should feel like they have to ride one line for their entire life. But we do feel greatly that women have to deal with this a lot with no support. We are expected, and you guys can stop me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. We are expected to define ourselves in one way, and we are not allowed to stray. If we stray, then we're weird. You know, we have to deal with negative criticism. We have to deal with feeling like, am I flaky? Is there something wrong with me? Why can't I just pick one thing and stick with it? Maybe if I force this hobby into a business, turn it into a business, it'll be worth my time. How many times have we thought that one? And then we start doing it for other people. And we're like, oh no, fuck other people. I just wanted to do this for fun. And then we break up the business. And then we're like, well, that's, you know, another failed business that I have to admit to. Maybe I am a flake. And round and round and round we go, and it needs to stop. So that's where we're coming from. I'm just going to say right now, I just want to call out this conversation on the side. Jess said to never assume that someone doesn't fight bears. Then Leanne says, I'd be all like, you're such a cute bear. Would you like a cookie? And then we come right back around to Lisa saying, never assume someone doesn't want a cookie. So in case you were wondering just how ADHD this group is, we are having a conversation here, and then we're having a conversation here about bears and cookies. So never assume, okay, now, especially with this group, never assume that we're going to get upset if like you're over here and then you come back. It's just kind of how this whole group works, you guys.
Exactly. And as a productivity coach, my superpower is like, oh, and here we were. And as such, I'm going to do this real quick because I want to call out what Lauren said and mention something else. I love what Nicole said in response to that, in terms of that, you know, allowing ourselves, right, to be the things that we want to be. But there's another part of what you said in that curiosity that I adore, which is that freedom to try, to explore, to be like, it's okay to be like, let me try this, and be like, wow, I do not like that, you know, like, and then let it go. That's a beautiful thing. And that's just, I think, stamped out of us like so quickly. And then once we're like already in that multi-passionate box, however they're labeling us, and then it's like, oh, you're trying another thing now, and then it feels like it's even worse for us. So this is us creating a space here and support in the freedom to explore and to be able to say that's not for me or that was for me. It's all good.
You're not allowed to change your mind anymore.
What?
You're not allowed to change your mind anymore. I'm not saying I believe that. I'm saying that that's what people
no,
tell
it's so
us.
true.
Because you're right. You're 100% right. Anytime that you come out as whatever, the moment that you turn around and you're like, actually, I tried that, I didn't like it, there tends to be this attitude of, well, what am I supposed to call you now? What am I supposed to expect from you now? What am I supposed to categorize you as now? And you're sitting over there like, I don't know, I didn't really feel like I needed a category. Do I need a category? And we absorb it. We absorb it too much, and we let it mess with us way too much, to the point where we even start questioning our own interests. And this
is one of the reasons that I really love improv so much. I mean, life is improv, but the rule, yes, and I have applied to my life, and it's like, yes, and the next thing is, and so at this point in my life, people expect me to not be doing one thing and to not have a focus. And one of the reasons I think this space is important, and I'm speaking as the old broad here, is that had somebody come into my life earlier and said, this is absolutely normal behavior. Yes, go for all of the stuff that interests you. And if you fail spectacularly, fail in the funniest, most obnoxious manner possible, because we tend to want to cover up and, oh, I didn't try that. I wouldn't be any good at that. I think as humans and animals of any kind, we're meant to explore and try new things. And so I have a little hat, a little pin on my hat that says yes and, because I want that constant reminder that once you start saying no to your own passions, you are really cutting off the source of your joy.
And who are you doing that for? That is the
So-
question you need to ask yourself. If you're turning down a chance to do something, and you know, Lauren mentioned that passion feels big. I want to make it clear that if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't really have any passions, like I have a couple things that I kind of like to do on the weekends that I haven't done in a while, but I don't have passions, that's fine. Okay, passions are 110%, but you don't have to be 110%. You could be 40%, 30%. If the fact is you are saying no to things that move you in any shape, way, or form because you're afraid of judgment, because you're afraid of what that's going to get you labeled as, because you feel like you're not worthy of taking the time for the things that matter to you, this is the space for you, because this is about understanding that what moves you is just as important as, I don't know, the job that finances what moves you, okay? Or the stuff that you do for other people that moves them, but not you. This is about putting yourself first. And if there's one thing that I feel, especially as a mother, that I am not necessarily pushed to do without shame, without guilt, it's putting myself first. And we don't do that enough. So you should do that. And you know how you should do that? You know how? Guys, how should people put themselves first? What do you think they should do? They should fight a bear. Since we already talked about bears, should it be fighting?
Can you repeat it?
Come to the summit. Andy got it. Yeah, you guys should go to the link in the description and you should go ahead and pay for your tickets, because at the time that this airs, it's going to be really close to when early bird pricing is done, and pricing is going to go up. And also, you really just don't want to miss out on seeing all these people. Like, you got to look at my face every week, but this is like a chance for you to look at different people who are so cute and so funny and just so dreamy. You don't want to miss out on it. You don't want to miss out on this dreamy opportunity.
And who doesn't love a good value? Get in now.
Right, there you go. But before we leave, I would like each of you to just give like little blurb, little something that you would like to tell the people out there before you go back to your awesome lives. And because I know that I'm going to have to pick someone, we're starting with Nicole this time because she went last.
Oh, no. Oh, man. I guess the only thing I would say from personal experience is that every time I have been told no, or that I have failed, or that I perceive that I failed, or been told I can't do that, or come on, fit into a box already, like you're getting old, it's time to figure your shit out. You know, I have reinvented myself so many times as a result of the way that my brain works, and I don't regret it. I do not regret it, because each time I have learned more about myself, I've learned more about my passions, my soul, my direction, where I want to go. And every time I've done that, I felt more and more comfortable in my own skin and more clear just on where I wanted to land. So, you know, reinventing yourself, failure, nothing wrong with that. No such thing. It's all learning. It's all gravy. You know, don't be scared of the chaos.
Love it. And Lisa, you next.
Yeah, like what she said? No.
We're
That was
not allowed to do
brilliant.
that. You cannot do a ditto. Everybody will do a ditto, and then we'll have
Dang
to
it, because there's so many good dittos. No, I love that no fear. You know what? I'm going to jump off from there, and I'm going to kind of go just a little to the side, which is, I think we all tend to do this, not just a side conversation about cookies.
It's fine.
Right. But here's the thing is that this can sometimes feel scary to step into this. And that's why you need to come with us and have this conversation, be part of this, because this is going to be a conversation that's going to change the game for you. But let me reassure you of something. If you're like, oh, but this is all about accepting me and doing for me, and that still feels, I'm also going to tell you that by stepping into this will make you more productive. And that's something everyone wants. And I'm going to help you figure out how. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. But if that can help encourage you to come on with us, then I really hope it does, because I promise you, it not only changes the game for you, but everything you do and for everyone around you.
Lovely. Leanne, what you got?
First, I have to get my microphone off.
Details.
Lovely stuff. I go ditto, ditto. I would have to say that I think one of the things that stops us from doing stuff, and I think Nicole has said this a couple of times, is being told like you're too old for it, you should by this age know that. And as women, we have this extra pressure of, as we get older, we either know who we are or we start losing value, or both. And that's talk about bullshit. That is the most. So I would encourage people, both young, who need to get this idea that you need to be you, and you need to follow your passions, and not just for you, but for everyone you love in your life. But for women who are older and who are now facing this idea of, I never figured it out, I must not have any value to society, this is so wrong. And most of my improv troupe are women in their late 60s and 70s. And they are some of the funniest, most passionate and multi-passionate people I've ever known. And they're finally getting to explore this idea that, yes, I can be whoever, and I can be all of the whoever's I want to be at the same time. And they had to wait too long to do that. So I would say, no matter what your age, no matter where you are in your productive life, right? Whether I need to produce to drive my income to come in, or I'm semi-retired and I don't know what to do with myself. That's me. I do know what to do with myself, but I am semi-retired. No matter where you are, you need to understand that you get to be who you are, and that your superpower is your brain and your heart.
Your superpower is your brain, your heart. I love that. Jess, what you got?
Well, I think, not to be a broken record, but being this is a lot of what we've touched on is helping you bring more joy into everything that you do. And not everything, even though I'm a business coach, I really believe that not everything you do can or should be monetized. But to do that, you need to release the idea that it needs to be amazing and are worthy of being hung somewhere other than your house, and or a program that you make in your business, and it needs to just be at the top of its game when you put it out, and the most amazing design, the most amazing everything. I think finding releasing that expectation makes everything a lot better, and actually makes you more creative, and actually makes you enjoy whatever it is you're doing more. And that is the key to life, honestly. I mean, that's the key to enjoying life anyway. Like, what are we doing if we're not enjoying it, even if you're doing something that that makes you money? So I'm really excited to learn from everyone else here and hear what y'all are talking about. And that's why, for anyone listening, that's why you should come. We're attacking this from all different angles.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, say something different. All of the ditto times 4 so far. But I think also there's just something about, Ariana, you had talked about at some point in all of this, talked about having it be hard to prioritize yourself, right?
Yep.
And I think that I'm gonna just I'm telling you listeners and myself, because sometimes I need to hear it too, prioritize yourself, because who else is going to, time's gonna pass. Why delay the joy? Why delay the learning? Why delay the connection? You have an opportunity to join us. We want I love talking to people forever. It's a problem. I would love the opportunity to get to connect with you, and you would get the chance, if you join us later this year, to learn from and communicate and join the community and talk with all of us now, because a year from now, you're going to be a year older and you just may have missed that opportunity. You can still do it again, but like time's gonna happen anyway. So do it now. Why not do it now?
Now, all in caps, underlined, italicized, probably bolded, maybe in red. Who knows?
In Comic Sans.
Yeah, and ew. I'm not signing off on that. Andy, please save us from the Comic Sans. What is your sign off?
Like, great. I'm last. You're not expecting something poignant, right? Like,
Oh no, not at all. No. It could
Okay.
totally it could totally be like the latest Spider-Man movie was bomb ass. Bye guys. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
I have not seen that, although I'm really looking forward to seeing Teenage Kraken. That's like my highlight summer movie. So I don't know if anybody's seen anything
We'll
about it.
argue
but it
about
looks
this later.
Amazing.
We will
I have to
argue
Okay.
go
about
look up a
this
trailer
later.
now.
That's fine. um, so I thought it was really interesting when we were all talking how often the word allow came up, like being allowed, allowing ourselves, so much of that. And it's this weird concept of permission. And I remember at one point somebody was like, "Oh, I give people an adult field trip slip so they can give themselves permission to do things." I was like, "No, being an adult means I don't need a permission slip." So there's something that's really amazing about a group like this and also this digital summit in that supporting platform that it gives people for that autonomy to be able to frame things that they're coming in where they things that they haven't felt they've been allowed to do, to be able to say things like, well, who is this person to put that sort of, you know, cap on my life too? Who am I letting dictate things instead of taking that autonomy and really exploring those things and having the freedom to not like things? I mean, how many of us have gone down that path where we tried something and we just stuck with it longer than we really, really wanted to, just because we didn't want to have to say, I didn't like it?
Mm-hmm.
But when we do that, we're giving up so much of our personal freedom to explore who we are and to be our full selves. So that's why a summit like this is so important, because it really is about creating that freedom and that joy and that ability to just be who we are and tell everybody else. What was it, that innate shove it sensibility? Just tell everybody else to shove it when it's the appropriate thing to do.
And it's appropriate more often than you think. So now that you've heard from some of the coolest people I have had the benefit of meeting, come see us in September 21st and 22nd, 2023. It's digital. You don't even have to wear pants. Who's saying we're even wearing pants right now? So let's all not wear pants together. Okay, September 21st, September 22nd, 2023. Tickets. My husband just ran into the door. So this is a perfect way to end this video. Please, 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 please check out the description, get your ticket, come join us in the Facebook community. You don't even have to have your ticket yet to come see us, but we hope that you will get one. Thanks very much. Drink plenty of water, take good care of yourself, and I and the rest of us will see you in September.